How's it going, class? Judges, my name's Alex Kellison, and I will be presenting on the Michael J. Fox Foundation for Parkinson's Research. So a little background on Parkinson's. It's caused by damaged dopamine neurons in a patient, which causes side effects of tremors or shakes, difficulty standing, talking, amnesia, dementia, and it also affects the senses, speech, mood of a patient. It's currently not curable, and while there are medications out there that do help some of these side effects, a lot of them have detrimental after effects on a patient. The Michael J. Fox Foundation has funded more than $450 million towards Parkinson's research, with 89 cents of every dollar going to research. On their website, they have a breakdown of where each donation goes. So 52%, the largest chunk, goes to altering the disease. They describe this as going in there and repairing those damaged dopamine neurons and what the disease has already done to a patient. 22% goes to defining Parkinson's disease. So there are things called biomarkers, which are basically give doctors a biological state of a patient at a given time. As an example, cholesterol levels are biomarkers for heart disease. So they help a doctor go in, detect, track, and see the progression of heart disease in a patient. Currently, there aren't biomarkers for Parkinson's disease, so it's not possible for a doctor to go in there and see an early case. 18% goes to untreated symptoms, and that last 8% goes to tools for medical research. There are 5 stages to the progression of Parkinson's in a patient, obviously from least to most severe. Stage 1 affects one side of the body, and the patient's going to experience tremors or the shakes. Stage 2 affects both sides of the body, and while the patient's balance is still intact, they will see difficulty in their speech. Stage 3 is seen as a major turning point in the disease for doctors and patients because while the symptoms are still mild, the patient's balance becomes impaired. As most of us know, falls in the elderly community often lead to more detrimental things, and that's why this is seen as a turning point. Stage 4, the patient becomes severely disabled, and while they can still walk or stand, they often need the assistance of a cane or a walker. And stage 5, they become wheelchair or bedridden and are in need of constant assistance. Up to 3 million Americans are affected by Parkinson's every single year. You guys might know someone who's affected with the disease like my grandfather was. I'm going to give you guys his story and fight with the disease so you guys can kind of get an image of what it actually does to a patient. In late 2007, my grandfather blacked out behind the wheel of a car. He forgot where he was going and where he was coming from. Luckily, he made it home, but the next day he's shoveling snow in the driveway and he faints, passes out. So we decided to take him to the doctors to see what's going on. It turns out that his carotid artery, the one that goes from your heart to your brain, was severely clogged. So we go in and we have the surgery done to get that cleaned up. And he's doing great. He's doing all right for a couple months. Then his health starts to fade again. So we take him in again, and it turns out that his heart had atrophied. So basically becomes small and withered, like a damaged muscle. So he has heart surgery spring 2008, and he's doing all right again for a couple months, and then he starts to backtrack and fade again. So we're like, can't catch a break. What's going on now? Get a full set of body scans done, all that. MRI showed that he's got holes in his brain from Parkinson's. That's when he gets diagnosed in 2008. He had a late diagnosis because of all the other complications that he went through, and because, like I said before, there are no biomarkers or ways for doctors to see an early onset. So over the next 6 months, his health starts to fade very quickly. He's in and out of nursing homes, and by May 2009, he's just not even himself anymore. Passed away June 13th, 2009, and my dad was there actually the day before with him, and he told me when I called him on the phone that he just wasn't even his dad anymore. The disease had just done too much to him. I want to leave you guys with this story. So on this picture at the top here, he's posing with a Busch Light can. And he thought to himself, hey, I look pretty good in that picture. I'm going to get it blown up. So he gets it blown up poster size, decides to write Anheuser-Busch to see if he can become one of their spokesmen. And this just shows his charismatic ways and how we choose to remember him and not what the disease did to him. So if I got this $500 donated in my name and in his likeness, I hope that it would help some of your family members, friends, and the many afflicted with the disease. Thank you.